Hi guys! Today we're going to make Numberblock squishy number 3 out of foam, and it's this clip again, and this is when we got the original piece of memory foam, which we cut 16 pieces out of, 16 cubes, and you will need somebody to help you with this if you decide to get a big piece to cut down into shape. I'm just using a knife and a ruler, so you must get an adult to do this for you because it can be quite tricky. So again, some useful things to have is spatulas, some wooden ones which you can get from art and craft stores, and you also need something like nail dotting tools are handy, and also some fabric paints, and you can use regular fabric paint, you can use 3D puffy paint. So this is just a set that I've got with lots and lots of different colours in them, which is really cool. I will link to these in the description box. But you don't get much colour, so if you're making huge cubes like I am, you're not going to get very far with these, I'm afraid. But if you're making little cubes, like maybe 1-inch ones or 2-inch ones, then that should be okay. I think I paid about £15 for all these colours, so it's not bad value, because a tulip puffy paint, a small bottle, is usually about £2 just for one. So I'm going to empty out lots of yellow fabric paint in here, because I know that making 3 squishy blocks, I'm going to need a lot. This first one is acrylic paint, which I'm mixing with a different shade of acrylic paint, and then I also add some fabric medium into this, because I just know that I'm going to need a lot of paint because the sponge really sucks it up. So the white stuff on top there, you can see, is called fabric medium, and that just means that the paint shouldn't go too hard and crispy when you paint it on. If you use regular acrylic paint, it will go hard and it will be hard to squish. So now I'm just using the spatula. This is one of my favourite bits, where I'm just slapping on all that paint, and it's really sucking up the colour. And I know it's going to take a couple of layers to even this out, because some of the sides are quite smooth and some of them are a little bit rough. So the rougher sides are going to require thicker layers of paint to get it nice and even. That's block 1 and block 2. And this is coat number 2, and honestly guys, making these cubes take a lot of time, because you've got to do 2 or 3 layers of them and let them all dry properly too. This side, as you can see, isn't very even, which is why I had to do a couple of coats on there. Now the first coats that I did, I wasn't 100% sure about the shade of yellow, but I made sure my final coat was a really nice bright yellow. And then I'm using fabric glue and I'm spreading that on like a spatula. Actually, they're not my hands, they're not my hands. No, that's Mr. Super Toy Universe's hands. I'm going to spread that on and leave it for a bit to get tacky and then stick the sides together. And it actually works really well, but do make sure that you use fabric glue because fabric glue is kind of soft even when it's dry. And then we're going to put the other block on. Now it's good to put a weight on these as they dry so that they're a bit more secure. I have to say it is really secure. They haven't come apart even now. Next thing is to add the details. Now we can use puffy paint for these. So let's do the buttons with some red puffy paint. So you just sketch the design on there. I'm just going to go over them. And then we're going to use the red again to make Numberblock 3's mouth. So this is the 3D puffy paint, so this actually stays, that gives that kind of nice raised effect, which I think looks quite cool. And then we use a little dot of black in the corner of the mouth. Spread that a little bit with a little spatula. And then I'm going to mix up some more colour here, this kind of sort of orangey peachy shade. So this kind of pinky shade is going to go around the eyes because I don't have this in puffy paint form. I had to use it as a regular paint and apply it with a brush. Then I'm just topping it up a little bit. And then we're going to fill in the whites of the eyes. And of course add some of that black. And just using some yellow to top up some bits here and to fill in the gaps around the blocks. Then the next thing we do, we're going to make Numberblock's crown, and we're using felt for this. I'm just carefully marking out roughly where I would cut because Numberblock 3's crown has 3 like triangles. So we're going to roughly see what that will be and then cut that out of the felt and stick that on with the fabric glue. Cut out that with my using my super sharp scissors, my favorite scissors, and neaten it up a little bit. And then I'm going to use the puffy paint to do the tips. And then I realised that I'd have to just put it straight on like that because it wasn't going to spread very well. Just making the shape of the crown a little bit more like it, and I'm going to use adhesive spray actually, not fabric paint. I may have run out of fabric glue at this point, I can't remember, but the spray adhesive does also work really well. This stayed on pretty good. And it looks a bit funny because it's soaked through, but it does dry absolutely fine, I promise. And there I just accidentally poked the eye a bit, so I'm just neatening that up. And then it's just a case of letting it dry. I'm just giving that a press. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video and I will see you again next time. Goodbye!